Yo, no Fred fan, what it do? We are back with another EP 17 on the way. She got DC, check it in.
It's your boy AD, y'all.
She got Mike. As DC said, we got a lot in store for today. News around NFL, NBA, so get into it, man.
Yes, sir, no credit family. Right now, currently game just started. You got the Celtics and the Knicks. All right, hopefully, well, not hopefully, the Knicks got this in the bag, honestly, in my opinion. All right, they're up 3-1, but looking to close it out in Boston within what game 5?
Yeah.
But let's start off with the other Eastern matchup that wrapped up yesterday, fellas.
The shocker.
Cavs, the biggest shocker. Like I said last EP, what the hell do we believe in Halliburton? And I guess we have to because they had closed out the Pacers. Closed out the Cavs. Sorry, Pacers closed out the Cavs. All right, 4-1. Let's start with the Pacers, man. Surprise?
What?
Surprise?
What?
Always, every year, they always catch teams slipping.
I think it's on wax. I had the Cavs 5-1.
Yeah,
I mean
too.
4-1.
I did
4-1.
Yeah, before the
4-1.
series started, yep.
But the Cavs really got walked down, and unfortunately, they're the same old Cavs. And like I said it before, though, I noticed leakage, man. Towards the end of the season, they didn't really finish strong, in my opinion. I feel like going into the playoffs, you always have to finish strong when you have momentum. I even the Warriors did, but yeah, that's another story. But yeah, man, the Pacers really walked them down. They were, the Cavs had that 19-point lead.
Mm-hmm.
Erased that.
19-31, finished the first quarter.
Yeah, and erased that, came back, and hit bigger shots. Every time the Cavs tried to come back, they had a bigger shot to make. And they blew them out game 4. I think it was 80 to what?
83-39 at halftime.
And that's on your home floor.
Well, Indiana's at home.
Oh, Indiana's
Still.
still. So they were overdue for a game like that, but yeah, now the Pacers are back in the Eastern Conference Finals for the second year. Same team, got the experience, got the gel,
Bring it back.
and potentially they're gonna be facing, you know who. But
We got a New York.
nah, for those foolish enough to say that Hallie's not it. I mean, the demand for him when he got drafted by Sacramento, and then Indiana traded Sabonis. I want y'all to know that they traded Sabonis for Halliburton. Sabonis and some other guys for Halliburton. And since he's been there, they've been in the middle of the East, but now back-to-back years of Eastern Conference Finals. And potentially another round they can make it to the finals. Which, again, there's only one dude that I saw. He must have a time machine. He had them winning the championship. I can't see that happening, but
Hey,
his
a lot of
boost,
things have happened.
that cash out number keeps getting higher and higher. So
How you feeling, Mike?
A lot of things have happened. Yeah. I think you took the Pacers side, so I'll go for the Cavs side. Another disappointing season. Looking at from the scope of things, made a lot of history. Obviously, got off to a hot start. Multiple All-Stars and Garland, Mobley, and Mitchell, but just never had enough, in my opinion. Whether it be the injuries or just the lack of hustle. I think Donovan did the best that he could last night, but even himself, he didn't look 100%. And you gotta ask yourself, is he a number one option? We know he could do it during the regular season, and somehow, just like with Joel Embiid, whenever his team is in a position to make the right step, whether they have home court advantage or not, he just can't get it done. So I think that group is going to have a lot of discussions in the offseason. Obviously, you have Mobley. Jared Allen is another guy that didn't really show up this series. So, people are going to ask questions. People are going to worry about all the games and the history you made during the regular season is what happened in the playoffs. And I said it a couple months ago, and I'm going to say it again. This reminds me of the Portland Trailblazers. This reminds me of Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, where you have really two talented point guards, but unfortunately you only win with one. So, Portland ended up shipping off CJ. Portland ended up keeping Dame. He ended up leaving, so I don't know if Cleveland will do the same. But in today's NBA, you can't have two small guards dominate the ball and expect to win. I think you need some versatility, and that's why Indiana was able to beat them. They have guys like Siakam, Naismith, even Nembhard, Mathurin, that gave them some problems. So, yeah, Cleveland, what you gonna do?
Yeah, man. Let's go on now add in the stats, fellas. No Fred fan. Siakam finished off with 21 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, played 40 minutes. Naismith, 37 minutes, finished off with 13 points, double-double, 13 rebounds, 2 assists. Turner, 10 points. Andrew Nembhard, like you just spoke on, 18 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds.
Big shots.
And then Halliburton, the guy, 31 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. And for me, what solidified it, and like top. Y'all been watching No Credit Fam. I did have the Cavs, pending them being healthy, but them being unhealthy, Pacers have the advantage. But the third quarter, bro. Watching the third quarter,
Yeah.
and watching Halliburton come off the pick, and knock down 3 straight possessions of 3-pointers shooting from Steph Curry range, bro. I was like, that's solidified because that shows his grit, his character, putting the team on his back, being down, coming into actually they were up, coming down in the third quarter, down at halftime, and to will his team and make those shots and knock down those shots. Like, I mean, what I mean, like, it's just straight net, not even hitting the brim.
Yeah.
That shows the confidence.
Got it.
And
Got
just
it.
Andrew Nembhard, for me, he outplayed
shots.
Yeah.
Garland.
Big
He outplayed
shots.
Garland.
Big shots, man. Big shots.
And that can't happen if you're Cleveland.
And then for Cleveland, Mitchell, like you said, it just he can't do so much. What was my deciding factor and who has to play better? Honestly, got to be Evan Mobley. Like if
It's tough for him.
Garland goes down, Garland's not healthy.
Yeah.
I don't know if Mobley is what it is, if he's that up to that stature healthy as well. But somebody has to step up and have no shot, bro. Because Strus wasn't there, 0 points,
Bad text.
26
If
minutes.
you ain't gonna show up, don't come.
You know, DeAndre Hunter,
You ain't show
12
up.
points, 30 minutes is like Donovan Mitchell needs help. Help me.
Nah, I wholeheartedly agree. Nah, think about it. Cause who's the matchup for Evan Mobley on the end?
Well, Mobley had
Siakam?
how much he had? I think he had like 20.
He had
and 8.
24.
Yeah.
He had 24 points, 11 rebounds.
But the problem with him is they don't really call plays for him.
That too.
Like they need to feed him on the block. Like I said, they got a lot to figure out.
Yeah.
I mean, Ali has been on point about blowing this up. If you consistently losing in the second round, if you're not getting over that hump, something has to change. Right?
Y'all blow it up. Don't wait until it's too late when y'all. I think they're gonna get hit with the second April now because I read something where since Mobley got the Defensive Player of the Year, he's eligible for more money. He ain't have his bird right, so you know that extension it goes
I
up.
predict
But
Darius Garland's out.
Aaron Jones out.
yeah, I think people gonna trade him
You gotta
first.
keep Mitchell. If you keep Mitchell.
Yeah, I mean,
You got to.
listen, the combo is always a guard and a big.
Yeah.
So I think, unfortunately, Jared and,
you can go get a wing.
Jared, yeah. But
KD.
the thing is, like, so was it,
Honest.
Honestly.
what I also
Same
feel
age.
like, what I also want to add, that's potential. We got to talk
We'll
about
talk about that
that
later.
too.
We're gonna talk about that later.
But I feel like it's also, they had a lot of confidence amongst both teams because division rivals. They
Yeah.
played to the 4 times before this and they know everybody's moves and what they like to do and all
Yeah.
that. And plus extra game plan. So I just think they really just walked them down. 4-1, I didn't have that in my book at all.
I got a question for y'all.
Yeah.
How does this Indiana team compare to the Paul George, Lance, Roy Hibbert teams?
Because they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, they played against Miami. They played against the
Ran
Big
to
Three.
Braun and thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not running against a LeBron, a young LeBron. So
Right.
I just think that Pacers team with Paul George is better. Because I feel
Really?
like, hear me out though. 'Cause nothing against Hallie.
It's close, man.
Yeah, I'm not saying
Because
I'm not saying
I
it's
was
a huge
thinking
gap.
about it. I
I'm
was
not saying
thinking
it's a
about
huge gap. I just think like Paul George is that bona fide star player on that team.
Yeah.
Hallie's getting up there, but I feel like
You don't think he the star? I mean, this closeout performance, bro.
yeah, no,
31, 8, and 6.
he's making his start.
made
Yeah.
big shots.
But I feel
too.
like Paul
maybe
George,
so.
especially the battles he had against LeBron previous to that and getting to there, that team just seemed more like I know exactly who. You know what I'm saying?
They had some players. They had David West,
It was still
Lance.
PG. You had your X Factor in Lance.
Right.
You had your consistent vet in David West.
Yeah.
And then you had the defensive stop in Roy Hibbert.
But this team is deep. They got a lot of guys that could go, bro. Like Miles Turner,
But it's
big time shot in the corner.
yeah.
to
But to
close
me, it's
out.
like after Halliburton,
Obi.
You got Obi. Obi's a wild card.
playing different.
Yeah. Benedict
see, I-
Mathurin, he really could start. If he was on Cleveland, he low key would start.
That's
Yeah,
my
nice
guy.
one.
I'm the one who made that wild
yeah,
take.
you the one that. Adam told me that the other day.
Wild take.
He's gonna be the top 5.
Listen. I may stay corrected if they get him on the bench.
That's a great debate. That's a great question.
Yeah, no, it's a good question.
I feel you though. I feel like both teams have the same vibe. Like they play hard. Like DC said, a lot of grit,
Right.
never quit, and you know dudes like them hard, bro. They
Now, he's
you can't
hitting,
let them get hot.
he's hitting big shots, man. Like it's crazy the shots he's hit, bro.
I'm taking this team. I'm taking this
Taking
team.
this team over Paul George? Okay.
It's current
It's
Pacers
a little
team.
bit more versatile.
Yeah.
I just like to pose a question because it's been a minute since Indiana's been this.
See Roy Herbert locking them off. Siakam getting bullied by David West. Paul George is
Yeah,
gonna guard
He's
Hallie.
killing Naismith.
He's gonna go. Who they had? George Hill.
Yeah.
George Hill.
Stop playing, man. I'm just saying.
Now, George Hill and Nembhard is kind of like, I'm fake rocking with Nembhard a little
But
bit.
who guarded Paul George out of those three?
Halliburton.
Naismith?
Halliburton.
No, Naismith.
Kill.
I know.
Come in. That's before the injuries. Come in.
To be honest.
Come in. Somebody getting dunked on. Bad.